obviously the main problem we're having is consideration of a safety for her, the family, and anybody and everybody else involved. And they're talking about a big demonstration out here Monday morning, and so we got to do something before then.
In the last 12 hours, has she said anything to you about the whereabouts of Kaylee?
Not at all. Not one word.
Is that frustrating you?
No.
When you say you're concerned about the safety, what are you talking about?
Well, there's a lot of phone calls coming in. They've started again, about threefold from what they were before they stopped. Sunday we didn't get any. Monday, Tuesday we didn't get any. Wednesday, as soon as that announcement of a University of Tennessee test went out, we started getting them again.
Don't you want your money back? I mean...
No. That's not the way bail works. When you spend the $50,000 for the $500,000 bond, it's like when you buy car insurance and you don't have an accident for a year, you don't get your money back.
So what do you think? We heard you on the record this morning. You have a theory about what might have happened here? That she made
it's just one of the things that, we think it was an accident, that possibly, because you have to explain the dogs hitting in the backyard. And now if Kaylee being alive is taken away from us, then we have to go back to why did the dogs hit in the backyard.
And how do you explain all the different stories she's been telling everyone?
They're lies. They're lies. It's not different stories. She's somewhat consistent. Zenaida Hernandez Gonzalez and her sister took the baby away from her at Blanchard Park, and she's pretty consistent with that. I mean,
last night you had mentioned that you were likely going to need more security out here.
It's either more security or surrender her back to custody. Yeah.
What's it looking like at this point?
Surrender her back to custody is my recommendation.
How soon could you see that happening?
It could happen today or tomorrow or Saturday.
What kind of a process do you have to go to?
Very simple. It's just a matter of letting law enforcement know that you're bringing her back into custody.
Do you think Casey killed Kaylee?
Accidentally. I think there was an accident.
What type of accident?
I don't know. We didn't spend a lot of time in that area, but there's got to be an explanation for the two hits in the backyard.
When you try to talk to the family and Casey about what happened, what do they say?
I don't try to talk to them about it at all. Absolutely not. I just don't.
Has her demeanor changed at all since this new information came out?
Been consistent.
And what is that?
See, just like nothing happened.
Well, what have your conversations been like with her?
I've never talked to her.
Never talked to her.
After she got out and she got out of the band, we've not had any conversation.
But that was your goal when you came here. What
Absolutely. Happened? Well, I was wrong. She don't want to talk to me.
Not even a thank you?
She basically said the thank you in the van when we were headed to the house that day when she got out.
So
but other than that, no communication.
Sorry, if you revoke your bond, how does that work? You're talking about it being like insurance, you don't get your money back. I mean, how does this work?
Well, you just turn her back into the custody of the sheriff, and the bond is exonerated. You're no longer responsible. It's like canceling your car insurance. You don't have insurance, but you don't get your money back either.
So you do lose the $50,000.
I didn't lose it. I spent it.
Have Cindy or George relayed any messages from Casey to you? Since you got out?
No.
Have they been talking to you at all?
No.
How would you be
very minimal. Very minimal.
How would you be looked upon in your line of work if you did pull this bail?
Well, the safety issue is one that all bonding companies take very seriously, and everybody in the industry knows that the safest place sometimes for a person is in custody. So nobody in the industry will look upon it other than, there'll be a few people say, he was trying to get publicity and it backfired on him and all that, But that's part of the game, You can't duck out on that stuff. The situation is today what it is.
Do you think she deserves to be back in jail considering she...
Well, no, we're not into the innocent or guilt situation. Right now we're looking for what is safer for her. Here, on the road to her attorneys, or in custody. And in custody wins out.
So you're recommending that. What's ultimately going to be the deciding factor?
Tony, my nephew in Sacramento, and Bob Sabo in Houston.
Who will escort her back?
It'll be discussed this afternoon sometime.
So will you have to take them back, or deputies will come get her?
We don't know exactly how it works in Florida. In California, you take them back yourself. I don't know how it works in Florida.
But as far as you're concerned, she's going back to jail.
As far as I'm concerned, it has to be that way. Like I say, the safety issue. I don't want her dad coming out here because some nut is out here with a band and him getting in trouble over it. I mean, I knocked over a microphone and the guy went down and filed a complaint. George, I'm afraid, if he gets upset, is not going to stop at knocking over a microphone.
You see a lot of threats have come in. Anything credible? Has anyone showed up here and verbally?
I wasn't here last night, so I don't know, exactly what it is. Most of them are nuts that call. They're abusive. They're, probably out of their minds. But you can't pass up the fact that just somebody might just do something stupid.
Leonard, what's the atmosphere in the home?
I don't know. I don't go in there.
Did you know the full situation before you came down and decided to do this, or did you kind of not know the whole situation and now you're figuring it out?
Well, here's what happened, okay? I could not conceive that she would not discuss the situation with me. She kept saying if she got out of jail, she'd help find her daughter. That didn't happen at all. The 400-page documentation pretty well recapped a lot of the individuals that were friends of hers that were interviewed, a lot of the facts that were in the radio and the media. That didn't change much except for a few details. But the big one is the air samples from the University of Tennessee. I mean, that's scientific evidence, and that doesn't lie. The only thing that's left is, okay, we know there was a decomposing body, in the trunk. Now what's left is the DNA tests.
So as early as this afternoon, you will start some sort of paperwork to get her put back in jail?
Either today or tomorrow, yes. Yeah.
Do you have any idea once you start the paperwork how quickly she could be taken back into custody?
No, I don't know how Florida works. We'd have to contact the local agent that posted the bond, Al Estes. He would know how it works. The revocation of bonds is not an unusual situation. Obviously, if there was more charges filed, the situation would take care of itself. They'd take her back into custody. So it's like something has to be done. The safety issue is paramount to us.
Is your position that the quicker she gets it back in jail, the better?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
What if she starts talking today?
We'd have to contact law enforcement, and I'm sure they'd immediately take her back into custody so they could talk to her.
Do you feel foolish, though, inserting yourself in a legal system here that you had no role in?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I went to law school. I studied the law for 5 years. I have a law degree. I am the president and chairman of the board of trustees of a law school in California that I've operated for 25 years. And when I talk to a friend of mine and he says, hey, it cries out for your involvement, no, I don't feel foolish. I was wrong. You ever been wrong? Yeah. How many times have you been divorced? Okay.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Without all that being said, what have you learned from all this?
She's got an insanity defense to any crime they charge her with.
Because she's crazy in your mind?
Well, I don't know if the word crazy is a legal term, but she's definitely got a mental problem.
All stems from a statement that a friend of Casey's gave to sheriff's deputies in early July. Casey's friend told authorities that Casey stole one of her checkbooks and actually forged her signature to use them at several locations. In fact, authorities say they have surveillance video of Casey trying to cash those checks at Target and Bank of America. So that's what the arrest stemmed from tonight. But authorities also addressed what we've been talking about for the past several days, which are those air samples from Casey's car. They did acknowledge tonight that those air samples confirmed there was human decomposition in that car. They say this greatly reduces the likelihood that Casey is alive. However, they did not go so far as to say that Kaylee's dead.